Doing that. Michelle told it. I really don't have, a feeling one way or the other for me to go, but that's okay. And was through. She just got back this weekend from St. Luke's show.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, I haven't talked to her, but the pictures she sent were beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Got back late last night, and of course today she had to go to work, so that was that then.
But yeah, I mean, that's it. So we'll, so there's just some planning to get going, doing now.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everyone hear me?
Yes.
We've had 2 months to work on it, so. hopefully. I'd like the record to reflect that, all the commissioners are,
Can't
in
hear you,
attendance.
Just bring it closer to you.
How's this?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Oh my God, there was.
If he uses it correct.
Well, I used to. All right, second item is we have a brief presentation from the Colony Garden Club regarding the enhanced landscaping at the entrance. I'm gonna ask everyone tonight, just for the record. Tonight's my wife's birthday. So I'm gonna keep things moving pretty quickly tonight because we have dinner plans and I'm not gonna let anybody derail them.
Okay.
So go ahead. I don't know who's gonna present on behalf of the, okay, come on up to the podium, use the podium and name, introduce yourself.
I'm Steve Parker, a landscape architect, and work with the Garden Club. A few of the members, of course, are here tonight. And we worked on the entry here and the monument sign. And so just to start, this is the existing conditions of the entry coming in, and then you get to the dollhouse area and the pergola. These are all existing, and so these are the areas that we worked on the design. And then further up, here's the monument sign. And then another shot at the entry, looking south. And looking north. And again, the entry just coming in.
It's not our property.
So the first plan focuses on the monument sign. And we had a few meetings and talked about the different plant varieties and how we would seek to improve this area. I also worked on the park with the Garden Club a few years ago. And part of our criteria was to utilize some of the plant material that we used at the park. A lot of that plant material did fairly well, so we integrated some of that here at the monument sign. We transplanted the 2 trees that are there on either side of the sign, and redid the understory and ground cover. Plants are labeled. I think they're kind of difficult to read. And the next plan here, this is the entry coming in, the entry drive. And you can see the road and the existing palm trees would remain on either side, the date palms. And then mainly what we're doing is we're underplanting on either side below the palms, softening that existing wall, and then mirror imaging with similar plants on the north side, and then improving the area around the pergola and dollhouse.
Is that the condos property and wall, or
That's
is
a good question.
Yes, below the wall to the south will be the condos property.
wall to the north? Is whose?
Down to the south, at the bottom of the sheet there.
Yeah.
I've been in
It's not
touch with their president and property manager about perhaps doing something in the future.
And these last photos, this sort of a summary of the plant material that we're working with. That was the jasmine. This is a European fan palm. And this is a white ixora. And some green spineless agave. And a Simpson stopper, the small tree. Jasmine minima. Salt palmetto. Pigeon plum. And silver button trees. This is an accent plant, soft tip variegated agave. And this is the ground cover, the dwarf carissa. And kunti, another accent plant, cocoa plum. And vine that we're proposing for the pergola, bleeding heart. So that summarizes a lot of the plant material. And if you'd like to look at the plan in more detail with me, we could look at that at another time or afterwards. And our goals were just to go for low maintenance and sustainability, to really just improve the entry with the entry drive, which is just fairly plain right now, just the palm trees, and really sort of enhance that. And then soften and enhance the monument sign as well. So that concludes the
Great,
presentation.
thanks. I'll turn to the commission. Any questions of the landscape architect while he's here? None?
I have a couple of questions. One, the silver buttonwood seems to have difficulty weathering here. The silver buttonwood that lines coming into the beach club, I don't know if you've noticed that it is struggling.
Yes, actually, I was thinking of the silver buttonwood just as a tree, not as a hedge or shrub. So.
Well, these are a series of trees.
Oh, they're the trees?
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're, and not weathering well. And we did put orchids on them, but also the orchids didn't do well on the silver. button.
Okay. I did have an alternate for pigeon plum tree,
Okay,
so maybe we just go with that instead.
and then I noticed that on the entryway, you're taking away the second path into the dollhouse. I call it the dollhouse. Which
Oh,
is,
we are
No.
keeping it.
you're keeping it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bill, any question?
Okay. So we're having this presentation tonight. What's the ask here, Madam Town Manager?
For me to proceed to continue to work with the garden club, they have offered to match what the town can come up with. I believe their threshold right now is $20,000. We do have money budgeted through our landscape budget for some work. When I've met with the garden club members who are spearheading this, I've expressed to them that from the town's perspective, our first priority would be the monument sign and completing that area. Then perhaps looking at finding ways to camouflage the wall of the condo, which would also include engaging with the condo. I don't think there's any guarantee that condo will pay for it, or perhaps give us permission to at least camouflage some of the wall. And then address the pergola and the other side of the entrance as third and fourth phases.
Okay. So I guess for the commission, the question is everyone comfortable with providing up to $20,000 to complete, I would assume, all 4 phases of this project?
To begin the
Begin.
work, we will
Okay.
not be able to do all 4 phases with $40,000.
Okay,
So most likely what we will be able to get done is the entrance sign and maybe some of the entrance way. I believe the other areas will come in the next fiscal year or in the
Okay.
future.
all right, so is the commission comfortable with those expenditures of up to $20,000 so we can provide some direction to the town manager?
Is that enough to do what will look like finished products? The monument sign will look finished and whatever else we can do for up to $40,000?
Yeah, I think you'd have a finished product for the monument sign for sure, no question. And then probably up to that pergola dollhouse area.
Why don't we do this? Because no one's perfectly clear on phase 1, phase 2, we just saw everything. So why don't you work with the architect, break it down in phases, provide a dollar amount for each phase, approximate based on today's comments, bring it back to us. I think there's general consensus. I don't see anyone objecting to the $20,000 this fiscal year. And then it'd be good for us from a budgeting cycle as we go into next year, what it's gonna cost. So in order to kind of wrap this up, let's do that because no one's clear on what phase 1 is,
Well,
what
and
phase
what
2.
we want to make sure you understand
Yeah.
what the monument sign will look like at that $40,000 threshold
Yep.
with both of our monies, and that's what we'll bring back to you next.
And it would give us, I think, a better perspective on maybe overall project costs and what it looks like next year in terms of the ask.
The original overall cost that we've received, just to put it out there, we do know that
Okay.
is generally around 100,000.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's why I feel confident we can get the wall
And-
done.
and actually-
I'm sorry, the monument.
And
sign.
actually, I would start working with the association of the condo to better understand what their needs are and what their wants are. And it would be, I think that would also be helpful, put a nice little bow on.
Excuse
Could we
Just so-
get a,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, could we get a rendering of what it would look like, the monument sign would look like after completion with today's technology? It seems like.
I could definitely do that. I've been trying to apply my fees to just preparing the concepts
So
plan.
rendering of phase 1,
Yeah.
right, it would be nice.
Yeah.
cost more money.
Yeah, that's, they're trying to keep it down a little bit, so.
But if that's an ask of the commission, we can certainly do that. And
I think it's worth at least doing the monument sign. That's the biggest
Okay,
piece.
that's
of
fine.
this.
All right, Sharon, you had a question.
Just so I'm clear, we're asking to pay 40,000 for the monument wall alone?
no, that's not
Okay,
what we're, yes.
walk me back, what is the monument wall gonna cost?
We don't know until
Give
we,
Specific numbers.
yeah, we don't know right now. What we know is that the garden club has offered $20,000. That would be matched by the commission's $20,000. We're not sure exactly what that will look like, so we're gonna bring back what the monument sign looks like and a more concrete estimate.
Thank you.
Will this also include all of the irrigation that we will have to update? And will the condos allow us to do that?
The answer to your second question is we don't know, because I don't think they've been engaged, but the answer to the first question is.
Right, we anticipate renovating the irrigation and landscape lighting.
Includes the.
And that's
irrigation
included
costs.
with it?
Yes.
Okay. That's
Okay,
important.
yeah, I think you have the direction. I think just bring it back next month and again, I don't think my sense is there's a general consensus to match the 20 grand, but I think we just need some more information. So thank you for your presentation tonight. Thank you to the Garden Club for all of your hard work. We certainly appreciate all the volunteer hours you put into it.
Yeah, thank you, Garden Club.
Can I comment at this time or not?
You, public comments are number 4. You're more than welcome to come up at number 4 during public comments and comment
Okay.
whatever you'd like to comment. Okay, let's go into town manager report.
As I'm bringing, I want to highlight a couple things on the screen, and as I'm bringing them up, I want everyone here to know that, can you get me the pictures and then the website? That on February 12th, in the early evening, late afternoon, we will be having our Resilience Action Plan public workshop. This will be an interactive workshop. It will be held at Town Hall. Our consultants will be there to get feedback from the residents on where they see our vulnerabilities, so we can continue to work towards completing that project. That
2
project,
hours?
yes, a 2-hour workshop. And I'll have more information on the format as we continue over the next couple of weeks. And just to kind of lay the foundation, this workshop will lead to the ask of future grants or legislation that we will be asking for in the fall and winter of next year. The next item I would like to highlight is the new website. If you haven't had a chance to see it, if you recall, this is just a screenshot of what the old website looked like. Pretty antiquated, hard to get around, as well as not very good information out there. It was even hard to figure out where the agendas were, where minutes were, nothing really aligned. It was a very basic program. So this is our new website as of last week. So you can see it is very modern. I will just quickly walk you through what is on there. If you click on this, this brings you to our agenda center. And I really want to highlight this. I'm going to click over here on 2025. And what you can do is you can go back and get minutes from meetings, click on the meeting itself, and it will bring you to the agenda, or over here, download. It's 2 different ways. It just depends on the timing. It had to do with the migration. But something that I think is very cool is now all the Zoom videos are up on the town's
great.
YouTube site. Sorry, it says it's not available. I'm not sure why. We did check it. We'll have to go back and look at that. A direct link here to the Inlet Outlet newsletter, a direct link to the calendar. We will continue loading information on there, but I want to show you, again, hopefully this works. If you click on more details for today's meeting, you will also find generally the agenda will be loaded there. So we've been moving fast with the migration. Here takes you to Muni Code, which is the town code of ordinances. And as you guys have heard from me over the last year and a half, transparency. So here on the website, it will be updated at least once a month, if not more. If you click on here, it takes you to the page with all of our town projects, and it will give you a status of where we are with our capital projects. If you recall, the commission budgeted about 400,000, so that allows us to show everyone where the money's going this year. And then this is a really cool feature here, which is forms, and this will take some getting used to. If you wanted to do a house watch, you came into town hall, you can still do that. We will have them printed out, but you can also do it from your home computer now by clicking on here, filling out the form, hitting submit, and it goes to the right personnel. We have here report a concern or submit a request. Eventually, over the next year or 2, I'd love to get to where residents are hitting here. If they see a pothole, they see something going on a walkway, a concern at the beach. And the reason why is it's going to help us do more data and statistics to see how our time is being spent on these items. Beach bonfire permit, temporary parking permit, public records request, emergency contact, all of that is here. Again, you can still come into town hall for it. And again, in the interest of transparency, 2 other areas. If you click under government and budget and finance, all of our annual, well, not all, the last 3 years of annual budgets, audit statements, as well as monthly financial reports are also uploaded. So these are the financial reports that have been in the backup of the agenda. They are all here for you to see. And then if you go under departments, I said two more now too. Under resident services, we've really cleaned up for the building department. So your contractors, as well as you, can go in and be very clear. We've loaded the fees in, we've loaded the forms in, everything is right there.
You request inspection.
And you can request inspection because it directly takes you to our building permit portal. So it's a direct link to that, and it's clear of that this is our building permit portal, doesn't use its unusual name. And then over here are all of the town manager monthly reports as well. Everything is up there again for transparency. So like I said, it's new, it's modern. We are still, every day that we touch it, finding something that can be improved. If you see something on it, just shoot me an email and either myself or Jackie will look at massaging it. But everything is there and we hope to make it really helpful. Sea turtle protection, about lighting, dog rules, special events are all listed, garbage and recycling, all of that is there. That's that part of my report. If I can, I'm going to turn over just now for a real quick update from Yvonne, who is on Zoom, to give an update on our TD Bank loans. We did receive notice from the bank, and she'll give some more information. I see you're still muted, Yvonne.
Okay, I'm unmuted now, right?
You are, thank you.
Okay, all right. So I apologize for not having video. I'm having technology issues. So all this new technology on the website, and I probably couldn't use it right now, but so good evening, everybody. As Heidi mentioned, we did get notification from TD Bank that they have called the 3 remaining loans that we have with them. You may remember during the budgeting process, we kind of alerted everybody that we thought that that was going to be the case. We kind of saw the writing on the wall with that coming up. So we have prepared. If you'll remember, in the fiscal year 26 budget, we have planned to pay off the smallest of the 3 loans. So the plan is to only work on refinancing the remaining 2 larger loans that are tied to the special assessments. We are working, we met with the attorney and bond counsel just for a high level preliminary conversation the other day. We will put out an RFP for bond financing services and bring that back to the commission for approval once we have an idea of what we think is the best bang for our buck in terms of a refinancing plan. Our initial intent is to go with Synovus, but again, the bond counsel suggested that we go out for bid. Says we'll probably still end up, it just depends on who comes to the table with the best offer. So we'll be working on that, and that will help cement a transition that we've been making, just kind of solidifying some new banking relationships and parting ways with financial institutions that haven't been as amenable to the town as they could have been. So we're working on that. And if you have any questions, of course, please reach out to Heidi and or me, and we can help kind of fill you in on where we are.
I have one quick question. Can you roll the refinancing fees, including attorney's fees, into the funding mechanism? Do you know?
Well, Heidi.
Yeah, you gotta go like really close.
Yeah. Heidi and Yvonne and my partner Lori and I met. Lori's the one they refer to as bond counsel. And we discussed her appearing either on Zoom or coming today, and we're sort of in the initial phases of doing this. And the thought was she'll probably either come in February or in March once we've kind of moved the process along. But she's looking at all these issues and how best to go about doing it.
We'll wait to ask the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
When's the call?
One question.
What's the date of it?
April. Well, the smaller loan is April. We already anticipated that. The other one's December.
And that was the amount of December 1. That will be in the next fiscal year.
correct.
And the amount of that one was,
A little over 3.
and that, and there's typically how long did one of these refinancings take?
It's definitely a several month process, but I spoke with Lori in late December, and then we spoke in early January with Heidi and Yvonne. And we think we have plenty of time to get this resolved well prior to December.
And the current rate, remind us of the current rates, pretty low. Right?
They're pretty low. One's in the 3s and one's in the 4s, if I recall. They were 2 different loans that made up the entire project, and I don't recall the exact rates.
Right, and we won't know what the new rate will be until we get the answers to the RFP.
Right. All right, baby.
Okay, Madam Town Manager, do you still have anything else? you want-
I have
One more
a little
thing.
more information about property taxes that you had asked, so
Yep,
I
I see
have
that.
one slide that I'll put on the screen. Also, Commissioner Shula and I are heading to Tallahassee in the morning. We have 3 days of meetings set up, including meeting with Representative John Snyder, Senator Gail Harrell, and today I've been trying to get the exact time, but I anticipate us meeting with one of the deputy directors at the DEP while we are up there to do a meet and greet, talk about our beach, our past issues on the beach, and what we might see coming out of the town through our vulnerability assessment.
Try to get a permit for some rocks.
Well, that's gonna be the conversation. The rule is currently open, but not for rocks, but we're gonna see what we can do while we're up there, or at least start those relationships. So a lot of people might be hearing on the news or seeing on social media about property taxes going away. So the mayor asked me to bring this to everyone's attention, and I think it's a great time to do it. So if you followed our budget process, the dollar bill on the left-hand side represents what goes to the school board, what goes to the county, what goes to the town, and what are for special assessments or districts. Only 34% of, I'm sorry, can you give me that number? I can't see that. It's the left. The Jupiter and Lake Colony. 30%, thank you. Only 30% goes to the town of your property tax bill. And I think that's an important number to understand because that's what we call ad valorem taxes. 81% of the town's budget, and if you recall, our budget's only $4.7 million, is made up of ad valorem taxes. 19% that is not ad valorem tax includes our building permit fees at about $350,000. The grants that we budgeted for, which is about $300,000. So as you can see, that's not real money coming in. We get very little outside of ad valorem for the FP&L franchise every year in the $40,000 to $50,000 range, and communication services tax and a half penny sales tax for transportation. So we get that 19% is a very small number for us when you peel it back. 164 of 244 properties in the town receive a homestead exemption. That is about, if all of those properties were not paying ad valorem taxes to the town, that's about $2.1 million from the town budget right there. So that is more than half of the 3.8 that we get from ad valorem. 1.2 million of that 2.1 million is from 65 and over homeowners, which is also 114 homeowners. So if you have heard also possibly of a 65 and over elimination of property taxes or ad valorem taxes. And I understand that sounds very exciting, but that also takes a lot of money out of our budget. All of these legislations say that you cannot touch public safety, and by public safety, they only define police services. But combined in our budget, public safety, police and fire is $2.1 million. So you can start to see where our money is going, 47% of our budget. So the real question is how would we provide services? And it just so happens I had a homeowner in my office the other day, and we were talking about that, and he was saying how great it would be to get rid of, because he hates getting that bill. Now, this person has owned a home for a while. It is an interior home, but it's still a very nice property tax bill. But I asked him if I could pull it up, and I did. His portion that goes to the town, not including the assessments, is $2,400 a year. That is the portion of ad valorem that he pays towards the town. If we were to take the fire rescue fee and make it an assessment, which is what we would have to start to do if we lose our ad valorem, we would have to assess everything. Every property in the town would pay a little over $2,200 a year for fire assessment. If you are someone who's only paying $2,400 to a year to the town, you're not paying that. We're covering a lot, or some of your neighbors is covering your fire assessment. Waste management, every property will have to pay $609 a year. We would have to do the same for roads, walkways, general services, the beach, the entrance that we just talked about. So we would have to assess. So those commercials are pretty exciting to see that property, and I'm a homeowner too, right? And I'm a homesteaded homeowner. So that would be pretty exciting for my property tax bill to go away. But for us to remain a municipality, we're going to have to charge for services. So just like we charge for the stormwater project or the past electric undergrounding project, we would have to charge residents for all of our services. The difference between what we do now and what we would have to do is when you charge an assessment, it's the same for the same. It's like for like. So every property pays the same. Using the fire as an example, right now, a lot of property owners are not paying $2,200 a year for fire rescue, which is fine. We have those non-homesteaded properties that are carrying a large portion of the town, but they can't carry everything. So I just wanted to, and talking to the mayor, we thought it would be good to kind of walk through. I'm happy to help you understand it. I did for the commission, I've told you offline that I was waiting for guidance from the Florida League of Cities on what we can and cannot do as a municipality to, I'm not using the word advocate, but promote this issue. And they did release it last week. So I've been reviewing it. I'm gonna get with Matt when I get back from Tallahassee, have more knowledge from what the commissioner and I learned from the sessions we'll be attending. And then we will be putting on our brand new website a page dedicated to understanding property taxes. So that's where we stand with that.
Yeah, and the reason we chose those two examples to illustrate it was because they are specific to legislation that has been proposed in the House, but not the Senate. And so I think it's important that everyone fully realizes kind of what the potential impacts are. Now, last week I heard, and I think I forwarded it to you, that the legislator is looking at a special session post this session to address the property tax issue. So they're going to settle it, or at least it's proposed by the governor that they'll finalize this issue after the current session ends, sometime, I guess, mid-spring, I guess.
If both sides agree to it, and at this time, there has not been an agreement from the House. I do want to also clarify, the only joint resolution that is going forward right now, that has wings right now, is 209. And that would offer an up to 200,000 extra homestead exemption if you have full property insurance. We would hate for anything to happen, but if something happened based on our quality of properties here, it's something the town would only feel a little ding for. It would not be as bad as those other two. We would still feel it a little bit, but not as bad.
Well, there's a solution to that too, right? Raise the millage rate.
The millage rate would go up.
Which was just completely contrary to what they're trying to solve for, right?
But it's gonna happen.
It's okay. All
Yes.
right.
You gotta get it from somewhere.
If you have questions regarding any of this, Heidi's a great source. And if she doesn't have the answer, she certainly can work towards finding out an answer, because we don't have a lot of answers right now. We just have proposals. So, and a lot of it is like, we don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how it's gonna end.
And it changes every day, so don't believe
Yeah.
everything you read in the paper, because by the time that article hit, something else has happened in Tallahassee.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any town clerk report?
Yes, just a real quick one for elections.
Okay.
Qualifications ended in November. Seat 2. Can't hear you, Jackie. Come closer.
Dave,
Seat
can
2.
you put them up?
C2 is Janet Sora, she's running unopposed. Seat 4 is Anna Nemes and Sharon Severin. Election day is Tuesday, March 10th, and the deadline to register to vote is Monday, February 9th. If anyone has any questions, they can come ask me.
Great, thank you. Bob, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. Just two quick things. We ended the year this December month in patrols 6,903. For the year total, 127,336, which is a pretty good number. We had 2 reportable crimes. I thought it was 1, but there was another one that slipped in there. 1 stolen car and a stolen camera for the year. We're doing pretty good with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Attorney, anything?
No, I was just gonna mention the property tax issue and then the stormwater loans, but Heidi covered that pretty thoroughly.
Okay, good. Commission reports. I'll start with Commissioner Seagram, but do you have anything you'd like to address tonight? Thank you, Vice Mayor. No. I don't have anything, so we'll move on to public comment. I know there was a couple of, Tracy, you wanted to start?
I'll go up
Yeah, go
there.
right up. Name, with record, that would be helpful.
I don't know whether I need this microphone. I think I can. And my entire message is to say how grateful I am that I live in Jupiter in that colony. During the months of November and December, I was laid low, and I cannot tell you how many people I didn't really know that well, people I knew and loved for years, have come out to my rescue. There is no other place we can live that has this kind of warmth and sense of security. I was not particularly for having a town manager, but man, am I glad we have the town manager we have now. And with Jackie's help, the 2 of them are helping us to run a wonderful. So my whole message is simply to say, keep doing it. I've lived here 30 years in the house my parents built 30 years before that. So I've seen an awful lot of commissions working, and they've always had this kind of town caring at the bottom line of whatever it is that has to be done. So keep it up. You're wonderful. And I thank everyone. Spread the news. Tell everyone you know. I think they're wonderful.
Thank you.
Am I doing it?
Yeah, Chip.
Oh, yes, Chip.
Are you gonna say exactly what Tracy? What? Are you gonna say exactly what Tracy said?
We love Tracy. In deference to Nika Chiarfella, I'm gonna be very quick. Property taxes is a very serious issue. I'd like to echo what Heidi has said. I would also like to say that it's the only progressive tax in the state of Florida that I know of. If, putting it simply, right now, the top taxpayers in town subsidize everything for the entire town. These assessments that Heidi's talking about are on a per house basis. So someone who right now may be paying $500,000 in total property tax, of which $150,000 comes to the town, is only going to pay the $2,000 for waste, or $700 for waste management, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't make sense for most homeowners to support this property tax provision, although we don't know exactly what the character of it's going to be. Fortunately, there are a lot of people with a lot of questions and a lot of arguments about this, but it's going to be very important at some point for the citizens of this town to let the legislature know that this is a really, really bad idea.
Yep.
Thank you.
Very good.
Laura, would you like to?
Hi, I'm Laura Hutchison and I'm on the beautification committee for the garden club. And I just don't think that the presentation photos gave you guys a good idea of what we're talking about. So what I want you to do when you exit or enter, I should say, when you enter the colony the next time, look at the monument wall face on. You're gonna see to the right of the wall, a Geiger tree. It's like a lollipop shape. To the left should be the exact same tree, but because it died due to some past landscape people or treatment people, and they replaced it, with this little scraggly Geiger tree that never grew in the last 2 years, I think it is. We just wanna level that out. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it. The same goes for the wall. The condo used to have on their side of the wall a huge bougainvillea that used to grow over the wall, and it was beautiful. And when you pulled in, all you saw was bougainvillea flowers. They took it all out. They cleaned up their side, painted their side, put rocks in and cactus because they didn't want maintenance. It's their property. They can do what they want. And I understand they don't want probably water, landscape, expense. But meanwhile, they left this side of the wall that we see unpainted. Now you won't be able to unsee this either. Now, when you pull in, you'll see the mold on the bottom of the wall and some cobwebs in the corners if you're walking. And so it made us, Heidi pretty much hates that wall now. And it made us realize that's what you see when you pull into the colony now that that beautiful bougainvillea is gone. So I really think that, the commission, I guess I'm really talking to the commission, that you pay attention. I know Sharon knows because she came to our meeting and got to see the exact plans, but the rest of you didn't. And if what we want to do is replace those Geigers, those lighted Geigers, repurpose them. We're not going to kill them. We're going to put them somewhere else, maybe by the dollhouse somewhere to have shade or, have more trees. And then replace it with a nice European fan pump, slow growing, full, rich looking. We spent a lot of time driving up Jupiter Island, seeing what they do up there. Very native, natural, nothing that's going to require a bunch of hedging or whatnot. And it will cost way too much to do the complete entrance. We understand that, but I think it's a no-brainer to match the garden club. We're just asking, because I really think you don't get a lot anymore for your money. And Steve, he left, but he did do that entire park. That park, Como Park, looks amazing. And it was him and, and Andy from Woodland that provided us all those plans, and those who we'd like to go to if they are affordable. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to give more of a pitch, sorry.
Thank you. Again, I don't think anyone up here is objecting to what you want to do. Yeah.
It was kind of weak,
In furtherance of that, just when you do get them broken down, why don't you include it in an agenda packet so that we can see it in advance of the meeting. Okay, any other public comment? Yes, Butch.
Good evening. If you could, I think.
Can't hear you much.
If you could, is that better?
Yeah.
Could you give us a background of the lawsuits that are now pending against this Jewish art center? I know this thing is still going on with Freeman, and we don't know. We have no really idea. I understand why, but can you give us some indication on where these set? Are we still, for example, are we still paying Freeman a salary, or has that been stopped?
No, we are not. He's resigned.
Yes.
And what about are we in?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna refer to the town attorney. I do know that there has been an issuance by the judge. That's public record. I think it's been kind of out there. But in terms of what happens next, I'll let you.
Yeah, the case itself is being handled by outside counsel, and it's my understanding that it's set for trial at the end of February. Is that right, Eddie?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not something that I'm handling or that my firm's handling. It's outside counsel. That's
Right,
right.
insurance litigation counsel is taking care of this matter for us.
Right.
Is that, I mean, in terms of the trial, I mean, it's coming up in February and that's it, I mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the end of February, right?
It's the February 23rd, I believe, is the trial, and there is a court mandated final settlement hearing at the beginning of February.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cindy, I saw your hand go up. Would you like to?
I'm just real fast, I'm loud. I just wanted to let you know that really we are, Steve gave us a guesstimate on the cost because until he actually puts it out the bid, and he said he generally puts it out the bid to 3 different people. But he did say that Andy, who did the park, was generally you got the best bang for your buck. And as anybody who has paid attention to the park, basically all the plants have lived. Now that's huge. And so the quality of woodland, what they put in, and the gentlemen, the people who worked and did it all was really good. So it may be a little difficult to get a, absolute as to what the prices would be for the different stages, if we have to have stages. But we could probably get a better idea. And truth be told, the garden club has $20,000 to give, but that's pretty much it. That's many years of not spending our money. So right now, I'm not sure where we get another $20,000 next year or in 5 years from now. It might be very difficult. So we're gonna do the best we can, and we've worked really, really hard on this and trying to make it sustainable, salt tolerant, wind tolerant, and do the best we can as to what will live here. So we don't have to change it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving one last time. Any other public comment?
What? I forgot to say thank you especially to our police department. I really mean it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, consent agenda. I'm looking for a motion. on
Make a
consent
motion
agenda.
to accept the.
By Vice Mayor, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes 5-0. Okay, I guess I'll read the title of the ordinance. Is that what you want me to do here? Yes. Okay, agenda item.
I just want to make sure you have the amended agenda. Yeah, it won't make a difference for the ordinance.
It will, okay.
It will not.
It will not.
Oh, it
no.
will not. Dave, isn't this what you gave me?
There's an extra item under.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's okay. No, okay, sorry. Okay, good. All right. All right, the next thing is ordinance on second readings, the adoption of ordinance 2025-01, which I will read for the record. Remember, this is the second reading. An ordinance of the town of Jupiter Inlet Colony, Florida, amending section 15-2 of the Code of Ordinances of the town of Jupiter Inlet Colony related to temporary non-commercial signs pertaining to an election, providing for implementation, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date. I'm looking for the commission to a motion, and this is public comment, so we'll ask for public comment. So is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, made by Vice Mayor, seconded by Commissioner Shula. Public comments, or any public comment on this item tonight? Seeing none, I turn back to the commission. What's the commission's desire here? Any questions, any comments? Nothing?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. New business, this is also a public comment. It's basically, we're gonna, I guess, ask for a vote for engagement of Kelly Lehman for public policy communications and for consulting services. I'll turn it to you, just give a brief overview for the members, the residents that are here.
Yes, so while attending the Florida League of Cities legislative meetings in December, I met Kelly and we got talking, and she is currently wrapping up her time in Jupiter with the town of Jupiter Island, where she provided similar services. Kelly would be coming on with us through the end of the fiscal year as a consultant at $4,500 a month to provide public policy work, communications to the residents, which includes our newsletters or our inside the town going out, as well as helping us tease out what kind of grants are out there for the work that comes out of the Resilience Action Plan. She has a wealth of knowledge and experience, as you saw in the amended backup that went out. She's worked for many years in Tallahassee and is really tied into local policy. I have on the dais in front of you, this is something I put together for Commissioner Shula and I to go to Tallahassee tomorrow, but it's Kelly read over my shoulder on it, pro bono in anticipation of tonight, and gave me some really great feedback. And when I was able to sound intelligent earlier tonight about property taxes, it was because of a 10-minute phone call that we had earlier today, where she corrected me on some terminology and really helped me understand the big picture. I think where the town is at right now, what is going on in Tallahassee, and our continuous improvement of our communications, I think the time is right to bring on the right professionals for this.
Okay, thank you. Does any of the commissioners have any comments or questions to the town manager regarding this item? Okay. It is a public comment, so does anybody have any comments related to this item? Seeing none.
Will she be doing any work that anybody else is doing right now?
Well, probably some of what you're doing.
A lot of what I'm doing.
So she'll
and
be a
I-
big help to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me to say
Okay.
it that way. The nights and weekends.
Okay.
Okay, I turn back to the commission. I guess you're looking for a motion
Yes.
to enter into a contract with Kelly Lehman not to exceed $4,500 a month till September 30th of this fiscal year.
Correct.
So somebody's going to make that motion?
I'll
Dave
make
made
that.
the motion, seconded by Bill. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Mayor, before we move on to the last item,
Yes.
and in deference to Nika, who I.
Oh, no, don't worry
dearly,
about that.
love Nika. I was remiss in my town manager report because I did not thank residents Eric Samble, Lynn Samble, Officer Kevin Schwebs, and our editor at large, Miss Leanna Lanson, for being behind the scenes with making that website look that finished touch. They all came together on the pictures, which, as we know, makes a big difference. And I was rushing through it and I apologize.
Yeah, Eric and Lynn have some good
Amazing.
picture
It's
taking
beautiful.
qualities.
It really is beautiful.
Thank you, Leanne.
All right, well, thank you to all of those who participated. Thank you. Okay. Well, not the last item, but last new business, is the vote and the discussion, the consideration of the new police chief. It's sponsored by Heidi. I don't know if you want to give a couple minute intro and how we got here, what the process, how it was run, and who the candidates are, and I'll turn back to the commission for some direction.
Sure. So we advertised nationally as well as statewide for a police chief using all kinds of professional publications as well as Indeed. We received 34 candidates. All 34 had extensive police backgrounds. Not one was someone who would not thoughtfully applied for this position. Of those, 7 were interviewed, and from those 7, 3 were selected as finalists. Those 3 were presented to the community and the commission this past week at a meet and greet. And I would be happy and honored to work with any of those 3 in the capacity of police chief.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to turn to the commission. We could do it a couple of different ways. We can ask the candidates to come up again. I know we all had an opportunity to meet them. I'm not sure everybody in the audience has had that opportunity. So if the commission would like, they can kind of come up, introduce themselves, or frankly, we don't have to do that and we can sit here and just make a decision. So I'll turn to you all on what you would like to do.
I think I'm a game and just move right on.
Misha? Okay.
I would like to, though, jump in and thank all the residents who came out on Thursday to meet our 3 candidates. They were extremely strong, as Heidi said, and it was very, very nice to have that opportunity to chat with all of them. And a lot of you did come, probably most of you that are here. And I don't know what Heidi came up with a number, 50 or 60 people at least came
I
through
would
there.
think close to 50, 40,
Yeah.
50, yeah.
So, thank you. And our three candidates, I'd like to thank you. You put in a lot of work in putting together your paperwork that you sent to us. The interviews that you sat through with Heidi were greatly appreciated to be viewed. So I'd like to thank you all as well. I think we've had plenty of time now to have reviewed everything, so I'd like to make a motion that we go straight to a vote.
Well, before we do that, and I'm thankful for you being ready to do that. Any other comments by any of the other commissioners? Okay, Bill, make your motion.
Make a motion that we vote for our new town police chief.
Which would be who?
Well, if we're ready for that, Brian, I think I would like to vote for there.
Okay. Is there a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, vote made and seconded. Any other comments? Okay, the only comment I think I would like to say is to our interim chief, thank you for holding down the fort on an interim basis. I think you've done an outstanding job. And I know that you don't do that alone. I know Sergeant Cummings was instrumental, as well as everybody on the police staff, kind of doing what they can to pitch in and chip in during this time. So thank you very, very much for your leadership in this interim period and your professionalism. I greatly appreciate it. I think the entire community appreciates it.
Thank you. It was quite an honor to do this. Be the interim chief, and I will be here to support the chief. Whatever he needs.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, thank you for your. Seeing no other comments, I'll go ahead and call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Right, you said that.
I said
Okay. So with that, congratulations, new chief. I just want to ask the maker of the motion that there was no date. I mean, I just want to make sure that it's clear that it's going to be March 4th. He will be sworn in between tonight and some period in the future. We will enter into a contract with him to provide some consulting services on an interim basis until March 4th. So he can start to ease into a transition from Bob to himself and hit the ground running March 4th. So I just want to make sure that's clear to the community, but.
And the commission is responsible per the new charter to set the salary. So if we can have a motion for the salary, which the midpoint is.
I can do that.
You got it?
The proposal was a range of basically 176,000, roughly down to 120,000, median being in the area of about 136,500. I'd like to recommend that we go to 140,000, rounded off to an even number as the starting salary for compensation for the new chief.
Okay, so that's done in the form of a motion. And is there a second?
I second.
Yeah, we have 2 seconds. We'll take Sharon's second. Sorry, Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Anything else you need from us? Okay. And I guess the only thing I would ask is for a motion to adjourn. Okay, made and seconded, all in favor, aye.
Aye. Enjoy your dinner.
Congratulations, Mr. Police Chief.
Yeah.